Stay right back from the water's edge. He can feel the vibrations that I'm sending out just by tapping on the edge of the water. You can see as he comes out, he's not blowing a bubble, he's not making a ripple. If this was deep, dark, murky water where you'd naturally find crocodiles, you'd have no idea that Graham is sneaking in. Now, the biggest mistake you can make is going down into the water. He can pick up on the pressure changes 4 times greater. You can see how he's flicking his tail. He really doesn't like it. So I reckon he's all yours, Lisa.
Oh, I see how that works. All right, ready? Come on, Graham. Oh, he's keen today. All right, look up at the lead. That was at my head. I'd much rather look at the chicken. Come on, Graham. Oh, just caught another leg. There's Graham. So, he put on a fairly good hit there, but he can come out much quicker than that. So from the tip of his nose there to just behind his back leg, so the base of his tail in the blink of an eye, there's no animal or human that can avoid the attack. Now, crocodiles will attack for a couple of different reasons. One is for food, which you just saw then, and Harry, mate, since your feet are already wet, saltwater crocodiles are very territorial, so why don't you jump back in the water and see what Graham does?
I just got out.
I know, but I reckon everyone here wants to see what happens when Harry gets back in the water, yes? Yeah, so do I. Go on, can you get?
Well, what could possibly go wrong? So, even though we're only a couple of meters away from him, you can see, even when I get further away, but closer to the water and into the water, he's straight onto it. He wants to come straight over and give me a bit of a hurry up out of the water, so I'm going to listen. There's not much room over here, so if I go quiet, it's because I am nervous. People always ask if we still get nervous. It's true. Good catch. Now, can't give him a round of applause, guys. Now, the reason we do get so nervous around these guys is because you have to understand, in those jaws, he has 3,000 pounds per square inch closing jaw pressure. Now, to put that into a bit of comparison, the machines they use to crush cars are about 2,500 pounds. So, if he was to grab hold of me, he'd absolutely wreck my day. But we've shown you the strike from the water's edge, and Lisa's going to show you another method they use to catch their food.
Alright, so what we're going to show you right now is what we call a tail walk. So it's not something we've taught our crocodiles to do, it is actually a natural behaviour. So from when they're tiny little crocodiles coming out the egg, they're only about 15 centimetres. Then they're hanging out in the shallows and they're picking up small things in the reeds, in the shallows like frogs, insects and spiders. And then when you get up to Graham's size here, you're looking at much larger prey items, which they really, really love flying foxes, overhanging branches that are hanging down in those melaleuca trees. So what I'm going to do is, as I go over the edge here, he's going to angle his head up and he's going to use that big muscular tail to propel himself straight about the water. Now he seems pretty keen already. Oh, good boy, Graham. Alright, so we're going to get him out again, so get your cameras ready. We'll see if we can get him a little bit higher this time. Sometimes they can actually get right up to this top rail. Graham, I really need you from that. Stop looking at my head. Come out. No, don't go around the ramp either. Honestly, that's a reoccurring nightmare for all of us reptile keepers and people that feed crocs, is that they just walk around up here and figure out that's all they have to do. Graham, come around here, mate. No, don't cheat. No. Alright, Graham's just going to do what Graham wants to do. He's angry. There we go. Give it up for Graham again. It takes quite a lot of energy for him to do that. So if you ever are up in Northern Australia, please be wary of the tail-walking crocodile.
Now, croc territory is not here on the Sunshine Coast. It begins up in northern Queensland, continues over the top of Australia and ends near Broome in Western Australia.
Rightio, we'll get about one more time just to dispel one of the biggest myths about crocs. And that's to see if you can run fast on land. Everyone's got an uncle who'll tell you got chased down by a crocodile. If that's the case, I'm in a lot of trouble. So that's the strike, right to his back legs. But you can see how hard it is for him to get out on land, and that is absolutely flat out for Graham. How good is that? really not hard to see why. He's got that big round belly, those short little legs, and his tail allows him to strike out that distance, allows him to swim at about 28 kilometers per hour. But out here on land, it just acts as a big old handbrake. To be honest, I reckon you could maybe even sit down in front of him. By no means do I feel comfortable, but I know that I can get up and get out of the way quicker than he can come forward. It's not because I'm anything special. Every single one of you would be able to do that here today. So to stay safe from crocodiles up in North Australia, all you have to do is follow a couple simple guidelines, and that's stuff we do every single day when we're working with these beautiful critters. So stay right back from the water's edge, about 4 to 5 metres. Like Lisa showed you, do not overhang the water. Definitely don't enter the water. You'll never come to conflict with a beautiful male saltwater croc like this. Now, recently the Queensland government has passed legislation to remove 5,000 wild crocodile eggs from the wild, obviously, and those, they aren't going to go to zoos, they're going to go to croc farms, where they're eventually going to become boots, bags and belts. Obviously here at Australia Zoo, crocs are something we're incredibly passionate about, and that's the last thing we want to happen. So if you check out the big screen, Mindy's going to go on a little bit more about it. There'll be a website at the end. Follow that to sign the petition to end that legislation.